Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Today we witnessed a Game 3 victory for Portland Trailblazers to defeat the Golden State Warriors 120 to 108. The Trailblazers did an excellent job. They actually got what they needed. Everybody said they needed a big game from Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and they got the huge game from Damian Lillard. 40 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, excellent game. They got surprisingly a huge game from Al-Farouq Aminu, 23 points, 4 for 5 from 3, and that was the backbreaker for the Warriors. Because if you notice in the beginning of the game, the Warriors came out hot, but they kept guarding Aminu in a way that left him open, and he was just draining threes. That opened up the court, and opened up the court for CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. Because CJ, he finished with 22, and that was the difference. You get 23 from Aminu. You get 40 from Lillard. Big game. And then you get 22 from McCollum. That's huge. They needed Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum to play really well. And they just needed one more push, somebody else. And that's exactly what they got. They torched the Warriors from 3. That was just like a baptism by fire. They hit 17 threes. They went 17 for 30 from 3. Shot over 50% from 3. And they got to the line 29 times. So that was really good. And what's really interesting about this game for the Trailblazers, they only had 10 turnovers, which is, you need to have a low turnover ratio when you're playing the Warriors. And, whoa, Lillard, yeah, it was Lillard time. He had some big shots. He was hitting some clutch threes. And the threes he was hitting, most of them were contested, and it was kind of demoralizing to the Warriors. It was like what the Warriors do to other teams, it was getting done to them, and after a while, they just weren't defending the pick and roll the same. They weren't high hedging, having the big come out big on the three-point line, because earlier in the game, Lillard was breaking down the bigs like Aminu, not Aminu, but Azili and Bogut, and he was breaking them down again to the rack. So they kind of stopped doing that, but that was exactly what they needed to keep doing so they could stop that onslaught from 3, because you give up 17 threes, and you're out of there. And think about it. Aminu 4 for 5 from 3. Crab 2 for 4 from 3. Henderson hit a 3. Damian hit 8 threes. So literally the 3-point shot is what obliterated them, what kept them going to the game, and what won them the game. Because overall as a team they shot 47% from the field, and they had they had 19 assists. Now going on to the Warriors side of the things, it wasn't as bad as people think for them. They had 29 assists. Okay? They shot 47% from the field. They shot 48% from 3, almost 50% from 3. Draymond had 37. Klay Thompson had 35. But other than that, nobody stepped up. McAdoo a big donut. Rush a big donut. Iguodala had 1 point. Festus Ezeli had 1 point. Spades 0. So they had nobody to step up, and that's what killed them. They didn't necessarily play a bad game. They just couldn't get anybody else to step up. Klay Thompson had 18 in the first, and they kept force feeding him the ball. And it's like, I guess it took everybody else out of a rhythm. And then Green came on later, and Green played huge. He kept them in the game with all them threes he was hitting, his defense, everything. But I think what happened in Portland was simply this. They weren't getting all the calls that they wanted. They were very upset about the way the referee officiating was taking place. They felt like they were cheated out of calls. And that forced them mentally to check out. Once they started checking out, they started making mistakes. Like not high hedging on Lillard pick and roll. Loose balls. Missing loose balls and stuff. They had 12 turnovers. And it was like 6 or 7 of them were in the first half. So that killed them. That's what gave Portland that huge lead, besides the whole 3-point shooting, which was amazing. It was an amazing display, man. It was like raining threes on their head. But what killed them is the turnovers and the lack of focus. Because you could see it, they were started to unravel during the game. Even Steve Kerr, Draymond Green went up for a block. It was a block to me. And they called a foul. And Steve Kerr ran up and down the bench. So they pretty much took the attitude of their coach. And Draymond Green was feeding into that. So instead of playing ball, they started playing like this whole thing with the refs and doing a lot of complaining, and that takes you out of your game. That takes you out of your rhythm, and that's why you get stuff like Andrew Bogut 6 points. You get Harrison Barnes 7 points. I mean, everybody was plus in the plus minus. They were negative. Like I don't think they had even Klay Thompson. He had 35 and he was negative. He's negative in the plus minus. So that being said, this is a good win for Portland, but it could also be fool's gold because a lot of those 3-pointers that they took were well contested. I mean, they were well contested. It's just like the only reason they were going is because they were hot, and number two, the Warriors stopped being disciplined on how they were playing the three. And another thing the Warriors have to do is stop giving Aminu wide open 3-point shots. You can give him one or two, but you have to contest his shooting. You have to contest any professional player shooting because if you give me enough time on the court, I could hit a couple threes. I could hit maybe 3 or 4 threes for a team. See what I'm saying? So you got to respect a professional, and you have to play him differently than how you're playing him now. Because Draymond Green has given, and that's Draymond Green's man. He's giving them like wide open shots, and they need more from Bogut scoring wise. They just need more in general from somebody that's not Klay Thompson, somebody that's not Draymond Green. Harrison Barnes has to pick it up. Sean Livingston, he only had 5 points. So I mean, we're not gonna see that again. We're not gonna see just Draymond Green and Klay Thompson have really big games and then nobody else step up. That it felt out of place. It felt very awkward to watch. It's just like, what the hell? Like, nobody else is doing anything. So, on the reverse side, on Portland side, everybody contributed. Everybody had a little something. Aminu, McCollum, Lillard had a huge game. Crabbe had, helped. Everybody stepped up. But tonight, it just wasn't Golden State's night. This is a game that they can learn from, and this is a character game. I was at the barbershop, and somebody was talking to me about this team and everything like that. And I was just like, you know what? Curry going down is, it's a hindrance, but it's also a blessing because it shows the players that in order for us to repeat, all of you guys have to step up. It can't just be Curry dance with the ball. It can't just be Klay Thompson gets a wide open 3. Everybody has to step up. And losing this game the way that they did, they were up 8 and then just completely got obliterated later down the stretch. That's good for them because now the coach has something to work with. He has something to motivate them like, hey, you didn't do this right. You didn't step up here right. A lot of the things that they were getting away with because they had Curry, they can't get away with it now. So this teaches them, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to high hedge on the screen. You need to contest every shot. You need to box out. Bogut, you can't foul. We need you. We need you in the game to protect the rack, to grab rebounds. These are the small things that you can't coach when you're winning games because they're just like, it goes in one day out the other. But when they lose a game, especially the way that they did, it's not like they played a terrible game. They just got outplayed. So that being said, that teaches you like, okay, we're the champions, but people coming at our neck, and we gotta shore up some things. So this is a great win for Portland. They don't get swept. Maybe we might see Curry in Game 4, but one thing for Portland they have to understand: you're not gonna hit all those threes again with being contested like that. Hot shooting like this, it doesn't carry over from game to game. Every game is its own entity. So if you want to take all these these were tough threes, step back 3 in transition, head fake. Oh, step back 3, crazy hand in his face. So if you want to continue that and go into the next game thinking that's what's going to happen, it's not going to happen. So be careful there. But, it's everybody's defending their home court, and that's what it is. It was a great game to watch. I mean, even though it wasn't really a blowout, because I like watching the back and forth. It was really entertaining, actually. It was really entertaining, and I felt like it was very competitive. But Warriors have to shore up some things. They need other people to step up, and they need to stop crying to the refs. And the Portland Trailblazers, this is a confidence booster, and they know they could get something out of the others. And, like Shaq says, the others helped them get to where he was. So hopefully that can help them get the next win. But I doubt it because Steve Kerr is going to make some adjustments, and the rest of the Warriors bench is not going to play this bad. Everybody was awful for the Warriors. It made no sense. That was terrible to watch for them. But on to the next game. Warriors still up 2-1. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.